The final and fifth piece of advice that you loved from the experts on the Mel Robbins podcast. This last one was delivered by one of my favorite guests, and she also happens to be my mother-in-law. Judy Robbins is an 86-year-old powerhouse, and I guarantee you what she does in a day runs circles around what you or I do in a week. She has more energy than a 16-year-old, and she's smart as a whip, and the woman still wears a bikini. She is so physically fit that I embarrass myself when I stand next to her in a bar class because she always has heavier weights than I do, and I sweat more than she does. You absolutely loved Judy. You loved this episode. You wanted more and more and more from her and her secrets to living a long, happy, healthy, fulfilling, purposeful, and fun life. You just watch them over and over on YouTube. And one of the things that she talked about that really struck a chord was specific things that she's done to avoid loneliness, even though she's been a widower for more than 20 years. Now, you wanted to know all about her daily routines. In particular, you kept playing this clip about her morning routine over and over and over again. So here is my 86-year-old mother-in-law, Judy Robbins, telling you what she does in the morning. And I have no doubt you will live longer and be happier if you do this too. What's a day in the life of Judy Robbins look like?
You want to know specifically?
Yeah, what time do you wake up?
I wake up very early because I'm old, and you do when you get old, you wake up too early. I have a sauna in my house.
Yep.
So I go downstairs, I turn my sauna on.
Mm-hmm.
Then I make myself water, and it's the orange, 1,000, those packets.
Oh, you have an emergency?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an emergency in water.
Okay. Vitamin C,
Yep.
blast.
Then I make myself a nice latte.
Yeah.
I get back in bed.
Oh, God. Okay.
I can do that now.
Yes.
I don't have kids running around. And then I go through my mail.
In bed?
Yeah, on my phone.
You go through your mail on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean your email?
Yeah.
You
my
are doing
email.
the exact opposite of what I tell people to do,
Yeah.
by the way. Keep going.
And I play one hand of bridge.
On your phone?
Yeah, on my phone. It's a practice hand.
Okay.
I never seem to win, but I play it every morning. Then I go downstairs. I get in the sauna. I have a mantra that actually, it's a fairly new mantra that I've learned from a woman up here, which is mind-blowing.
And what's your new mantra? Are you allowed to share it?
Sure.
Okay.
It's called Sa Ta Ma Na. And they sing it first. They go, Sa Ta Ma Na, Sa Ta Ma Na. And they do that for probably 25 times, and then they whisper it. Sa Ta Ma Na. And then they do it silently in your head. And while you're doing it, you use your hands.
What do you do with your hands?
Sa Ta Ma Na.
Oh, so you do the fingertip.
Yes,
Sa
ma,
ta ma na. And
Now-
you touch your first finger,
Yep.
then the second to your thumb. Ma na.
Now, the woman that teaches it here in Manchester,
Yep.
she's a yoga teacher, but she has taught this all over the world to people with Alzheimer's
Really?
and dementia, and has actually proven that she can stimulate your brain if you continually do that every single day.
Well, I don't doubt it. I mean, if you listen to some of the brain experts, you're basically talking about what I believe is called, I'm going to forget the name. It's neurobics, where you are combining a intentional thought with a physical movement.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of the fastest ways to create new neural pathways. It's a whole field of study called neurobics. And that's what you're doing. You're
That's what I'm
basically
doing.
pairing intentional thought with a physical movement of touching each one of your fingers to your thumb. Wow. And what do you notice when you do it for yourself personally?
I don't know. I think I'm convincing myself that I'm remembering more things. I don't know. It's all in your mind, right?
It is true. Or it's not in your mind. Okay. So then after the sauna, what do you do?
Then I come upstairs and I make myself a kombucha apple cider vinegar, and a fresh squeezed orange juice.
Okay, like all together.
Yeah, drink
As one
that.
thing. That's similar to the farmer's switzel, switcher, something like that my grandmother used to drink and my mom drinks, which is hot water, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of honey, and some lemon.
Well, you have to mix apple cider vinegar with something because it tastes terrible.
Yes. Okay, so now we've got our day done.
And no, then I go and walk for 5 miles.
Okay, now this I think is really important. How long have you walked 5 miles a day?
Well, I used to run. I used to be a runner.
Yep.
And I think I stopped running, I don't know, when I was like 75.
Talk about a casual brag. I mean, the woman is always flexing and not just her biceps. I stopped running when I was 75. I think I stopped running when I was 35. I mean, I'm just like, oh my gosh, woman. Isn't her routine amazing? I know you loved it because you wrote more comments about it than almost any other episode in the last 12 months. And it was one of those episodes where almost every single person who listened stayed until the very, very end of it. That's how much you loved it. And look, you don't always stay until the end. That's cool. I know you got things to do. I still love you, but you stayed until the end for Judy. And I know why you did. Because it was the advice that she gave at the end of the episode about purpose and meaning that really hit you. It was incredible. And you were taken by surprise. In this clip, you're going to hear me ask her, what do you do when you're at a point in your life where you feel really lonely? And I thought her answer was one of the most beautiful things I had ever heard. Take a listen. We have a lot of people that write into this show who say they have no one. And if you were to talk directly to somebody who feels like they don't have anyone who loves them in their life, because I'm always surprised by the number of people who write in about this, what would your advice be about how to get started?
I could, without skipping a beat, I would start by taking the hospice training.
Oh.
And go and take care of somebody. Because who you take care of is going to give you love. And it's going to make you feel so good about yourself. Even if you don't have your neighbor or your friend, if they don't love you, the person that you are taking care of will love you. It makes a very big difference. I've been doing hospice for over 40 years. And, you know, people say, I don't know how you do that. You know, these people are dying. It is the most rewarding thing that you can do. And, you know, your husband does it now.
Yeah. What do you get out of it?
A tremendous feeling of satisfaction that I've contributed to somebody's life. You know, like Judy, like I went and saw her this morning. And even if I only spend an hour, this is a very good friend, as you know, of mine who has Parkinson's. You know, if I only came in for 15 minutes, she's grateful. You know, you just have to make the time. You can't say that you're too busy. And so for the people that feel very lonely, that don't have anybody that love them, they can create love by taking care of somebody else.
That is such beautiful advice, because we do start to look outside ourselves and look for other people to fill a need. And what you're saying is the truth. Fill it for yourself first. And the way to bring more love into your life is to give it to a perfect stranger and being part of the hospice community. That's an incredible piece of advice. So how do you stay young at heart? What do you think that's about?
Well, I go back again about living in the moment. And I don't take any day for granted that I have. I mean, I'm really grateful for every day I have.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can say. I mean, I think most people live their lives like, well, of course there'll be tomorrow. There was yesterday, there'll be tomorrow, there'll be next week. I can do this, I can do that. Well, who's to say? We have a friend who just was on his motorcycle, bingo.
Yeah.
So that keeps me positive. Because I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. First of all, I have a fabulous life. I have an incredible family, all these grandchildren. I'm not sick. I'm healthy. I have all my knees and all my hips. So I'm very grateful. You have what you have right now at the moment, and don't expect anything more. And I think people live in a lot of disappointment because they think about what they'd like to have or what their neighbor has or something other than what they have this moment. And that creates the stress, because if there's something out there that you want and you don't have it, that's stress in itself.
Right.
Be thankful what you do have. Don't think about what you wish you had. I'll always remember, and I think this is true of every child. My mother used to say, you're going to wish your life away. Because we'd say, oh, I wish I could have. I wish I could do. I wish I could go. As a child, we're always wishing. She'd say, you're going to wish your life away. Well, what are you wishing for? Just be grateful for what you have right this minute.
Don't wish your life away. When I'm out and about and I have the absolute honor of bumping into you, after we go, oh my God, and I started to notice that you all like the same episodes. And so today you are going to get, but I feel like I need a drum roll.